The Middle East has long been a region where silence speaks louder than words, and today that silence is deafening. In a shocking development, reports have surfaced about a blast near one of Iran's most secretive and heavily guarded military sites. The incident has sent shockwaves across the international community, but the truth remains elusive. No independent confirmation exists, and Iranian authorities have yet to provide a coherent explanation. As the world speculates, one question dominates: what really happened at a place where no explosion should ever occur? The site in question is reportedly one of Iran's most sensitive military and nuclear facilities, a location shrouded in secrecy and protected by multiple layers of security. These sites are not only vital to Iran's defense capabilities, but also central to the country's nuclear research and potential weapons programs. Over the years, intelligence agencies worldwide have monitored these installations closely. Satellite imagery, defectors' testimonies, and leaked documents have painted a picture of a complex network of bunkers, laboratories, and testing grounds, all designed to operate under a veil of total secrecy. The recent reports, however, suggest that something extraordinary may have happened. Eyewitnesses from nearby towns claim to have seen a sudden flash, heard a loud bang, and observed thick smoke rising from the facility. Videos circulated online show flashes of fire and dark clouds, but none of the material has been verified. The lack of credible information has left experts divided. Some believe the incident could have been an accident during routine military testing. Others fear it may signal a covert attack, perhaps by foreign intelligence agencies seeking to disrupt Iran's strategic programs. Historically, Iran's nuclear and military sites have been the focus of numerous incidents, some mysterious and some confirmed. Between 2010 and 2025, there have been multiple reports of sabotage, cyber attacks, and even explosions targeting key facilities like Natanz and Parchin. Analysts believe these events were intended to delay Iran's progress, apply international pressure, and send a geopolitical message. The recurring theme is clear: Iran's most critical sites are constantly under threat, and the stakes are extraordinarily high. At the same time, Iran's domestic political climate adds another layer of complexity. The country has faced widespread protests in recent years, with citizens expressing frustration over economic hardship, political repression, and corruption. The government's response has been forceful, involving mass arrests and strict control of media narratives. In such an environment, even minor incidents at strategic facilities can become magnified both domestically and internationally as rumors, disinformation, and speculation spread rapidly. The geopolitical stakes are equally high. Iran's strategic adversaries, including the United States and Israel, have maintained a consistent posture of surveillance, deterrence, and, at times, covert action. U.S. naval forces have been deployed in the Persian Gulf to monitor and respond to potential threats. Israel has historically conducted operations aimed at slowing Iran's nuclear progress. These dynamics create an environment in which even a small misstep can escalate into a serious international crisis. Given the secrecy surrounding Iran's military and nuclear programs, much of what we know comes from indirect sources. Satellite imagery can show smoke plumes or damaged infrastructure, but it cannot confirm the purpose of the activities inside the facilities. Intelligence reports may suggest sabotage or mechanical failure, but these remain classified. The public is left to piece together fragmented information, which often leads to speculation and sensationalism. The implications of a blast at one of Iran's most guarded bases are profound. If the explosion was accidental, it could indicate lapses in security, training, or facility maintenance, raising concerns about Iran's ability to safely manage sensitive materials. If it was deliberate, it could signify a new level of covert conflict in the region, with external actors willing to take risks to influence Iran's capabilities. Either scenario carries consequences not only for Iran, but for global security and the delicate balance of power in the Middle East. Iranian authorities have been quick to downplay the incident, attributing reports of explosions to routine maintenance or testing exercises. They emphasize that there has been no compromise of nuclear or military assets, yet the lack of transparency has only fueled speculation. International media outlets, intelligence analysts, and social media users have dissected every available image and video frame, searching for clues that might confirm or refute the claims. The secrecy surrounding Iran's strategic installations is not accidental. These sites are designed to be resilient, hidden, and difficult to access. They employ advanced security systems, including electronic surveillance, physical barriers, and restricted airspace. Even the personnel allowed inside are carefully vetted. Such measures are meant to prevent both internal and external threats, but they also mean that verifying information independently is nearly impossible. Despite these protective measures, the possibility of incidents cannot be entirely ruled out. Facilities that house advanced technology and potentially hazardous materials are inherently risky. A minor error in handling equipment, a mechanical failure, or an unexpected chemical reaction could result in a significant explosion. Moreover, the psychological and political pressures on personnel working in these facilities are immense, adding human factors into an already volatile equation. On the international stage, reactions have been mixed. Some governments have expressed concern and called for restraint, emphasizing the importance of verifying facts before drawing conclusions. Others have used the incident to highlight Iran's secretive programs and call for renewed scrutiny. Analysts point out that even the discussion of a blast can influence diplomatic negotiations, military postures, and public opinion, regardless of whether the incident actually occurred as reported. Another dimension of this story involves the potential for escalation. If a foreign state were involved, the incident could be perceived as an act of aggression, prompting a military or retaliatory response. Iran's leadership has previously warned that attacks on its territory would be met with decisive action, and even minor provocations have the potential to escalate rapidly in a region already fraught with tension. Meanwhile, local populations near these strategic sites face their own set of uncertainties. Residents often have limited information and are subject to state-controlled narratives. When an explosion occurs, whether real or rumored, the fear and anxiety among civilians are palpable. Emergency services may be mobilized, roads and airspace restricted, and communication networks monitored or limited. These local effects contribute to the larger atmosphere of tension and uncertainty. Technology plays a dual role in these events. On one hand, modern surveillance and monitoring systems allow for unprecedented observation and intelligence gathering. On the other, the rapid spread of unverified images and videos through social media can create misinformation, panic, and even international misperceptions. Analysts and decision makers must navigate this information landscape carefully, balancing the need for verification against the pressures of immediate reporting. The blast, or alleged blast, also highlights the symbolic significance of Iran's most guarded bases. These locations represent national pride, strategic autonomy, and technological advancement. Damage to such sites, whether physical or reputational, can have political implications. Leaders may use the incident to rally domestic support, signal strength to international actors, or justify policy decisions regarding military development and security. In addition, the potential environmental and safety impacts of such incidents cannot be ignored. Facilities handling chemical, nuclear, or high energy materials pose risks to workers, local communities, and the broader ecosystem. Even minor incidents require careful containment and monitoring to prevent long-term consequences. The lack of transparent reporting complicates efforts to assess these risks accurately. Global reactions to the incident underscore the interconnected nature of modern security. Regional powers monitor developments closely, not only for direct threats, but for shifts in balance of power, alliances, and influence. International organizations, including nuclear watchdogs, may seek clarification, inspections, or access to the site, further complicating the flow of information and the diplomatic landscape. The human element remains central to this story. Engineers, scientists, military personnel, and decision makers operate under intense pressure, often with incomplete information. Their actions, errors, or judgments can have consequences that extend far beyond the facility walls. In high-stakes environments, the line between accident, sabotage, and operational failure is often blurred, making clear conclusions difficult. Ultimately, the incident at Iran's most guarded base serves as a stark reminder of the complexities of modern security, geopolitics, and information management. In a world where secrecy, speculation, and strategic imperatives intersect, understanding the full truth is extraordinarily difficult. The explosion, whether real or imagined, has already influenced perceptions, prompted responses, and highlighted vulnerabilities. As analysts continue to review satellite imagery, examine open-source intelligence, and monitor statements from governments and insiders, one fact remains: the story is far from complete. The world is watching, speculation is rampant, and the consequences of both action and inaction could shape the Middle East for years to come. In an environment where no blast should occur, and yet reports suggest otherwise, the truth remains Iran's darkest secret.